So again, as we were saying before, been a while, so it's really good to see you. We've done a couple of tunes together, and
Yeah,
I've had you perform at one of my events before. So yeah, good to see you, man.
yes,
How are you?
we're just talking before about uni. Yeah, uni slightly beating me up, but trying
Mm.
to stay on top of it, trying to balance uni work and trying to do music at the same time. But apart from that, it's been good, man. We're chilling. Cannot complain, man. Glory to God.
Otterix on me, no, we don't run no Patagonia. Otterix on me, I could go hiking in Snowdonia. Questy got the pack and yeah, stinking like ammonia. You know
So
I don't
obviously
smoke
I
up,
know,
but
but
we're
tell the
smoking
people what
California.
course you do and what uni you're at.
So I study philosophy and French at University of Oxford. Um, yeah. Here we are.
How are you finding that, man?
I find philosophy very interesting, but it's hard. And then French is the opposite. Well, French isn't like easy, but I'm not. I can't lie. I don't care too much about it. But the reason I chose doing a language is because I've got a year abroad, so I'm going on my year abroad next year.
Okay,
Um,
nice.
Trying to go to Guadeloupe, hopefully. So that's exciting. But otherwise, uni's uni, man. It's just something you got to do. Got to make the most of your time here. And yeah, I'm chilling. I'm coasting.
Mm. And I was saying before that I think it's so sick that you do both the academics and the music. So how are you finding balancing the two things? Because personally, I was saying before, I'm struggling, man. I'm in first year.
Yeah.
I'm finding it difficult to do both things. So how,
Mm.
and it must be fucking more intense for you. So tell me what that's like balancing the two.
Sometimes you just gotta decide what means more to you. Like there are times I've like cut to London to hit Pirate to hit studio, and like literally I'll be in Oxford. I'll cut to London, get the train, stay the night in London, and I'll be back in Oxford for like 7 a.m. Like yeah, and then have to do an 8 a.m. lecture or an 8 a.m. seminar. So like man, you got if you love something enough, you'll make time for it. I think that's all it comes down to, man. And you fit things in where you can. That's it.
Uh-huh. There's quite an interesting sort of dialogue between philosophy, you studying philosophy and your music. I really like that.
Yeah,
For example, the line when what was it? Something about philosophy, but she can't tell me about Socrates. That was fucking.
yeah,
No, when I heard that, I actually creased aloud. That was joke.
yeah, man. I kind of just it's the same with a lot of my songs, man. I don't really feel like I be saying like deep stuff, but I just be talking about my life. I just be saying my experiences or the things that are relevant to me. And so I guess studying philosophy, a lot of times like philosophy bars are just gonna come into my head. Like and I just talk about it the same way I talk about everything else. But yeah, man, I do like to try slip in some like witty references or some niche stuff that some people might not get. Yeah, I guess that's kind of part of my whole art, I guess. Yeah, but I'm glad you like that. I'm glad you picked up on
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Monet, but she can't
that.
tell me his first name. That was joke.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
bro. I forgot about that song. I hate that song to be fair. I don't listen to
right,
that
why do
song
you hate that
anymore.
song?
Because Sasuda is like, I feel like I made it when did I make it? That's like February 2019. So that's like 3 years ago. Three? No, 2 years ago. But even then I was 17. I'm like, I just turned 20 now. I feel like I don't know, it's my most listened to song. And I feel like I don't know, with the almost listened to song, do you like your most listened to song?
I guess naturally as time passes, you obviously look at it in a different way.
Firstly, I feel like okay, that song's clear. It was invented as a meme. And like I make memes. I'm definitely not a meme rapper. Like, it slightly
No, of
pisses me off
course.
when people say that I'm a or like say because I like to make jokes. So sometimes that means people like put me in that category. But I would never say that I'm a meme rapper. But like, so I don't like that. Like my biggest song is like a meme song. I don't like when people click on my Spotify and they see the song with the most views and they click on that and that's the first like that was me at a point that was my expression of that particular time.
It's also always surprising which songs people react to
Yeah.
most, or which parts of songs that people react to most. I remember in my interview with Songer, he was saying that he was coming up with all of these fucking mad bars, and then the ones that people actually react to are the ones that you're
Yeah.
sometimes unsure about.
You know Kwesi, right? So he had a collab tape that we did back in summer and like I feel like we did a lot of different stuff, like, or not a lot of different stuff, but the sound we were trying to push was something not really too familiar, people in the UK aren't too familiar with. But we kind of put this one catchy song on there, and called Pine with the Lads, and like that's the biggest song of the project, and that's the one that everybody kind of gravitated towards. And I feel like it kind of undermined the rest of the project. So I think I mean, sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. But I feel like a lot of the time, as an artist, you can have a specific intention, or you can be trying to do something, but the people will pick up on something else. And it's kind of as annoying as that can be as an artist. I also think there's also some kind of beauty in it. Like, you didn't think too much of this, but some people resonated with this more than that. And so I think, yeah, it's valid. It's definitely valid.
Mm. I've listened through that project and all of it's cold, and I know what you mean. You've got to have a certain amount of resilience being a musician or making music.
Yeah,
There are songs that will go fucking straight over people's heads,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I can sort of see why Pint with the Lads is what people caught on. Do you know what I mean? It's because
Yeah,
it's the ones with the most sort of clear cut hooks. I was gonna say also, just going back to Suede Ho, yeah. I
yeah,
think that it's a very clever perspective that you've taken, that you took in that song. I know you
yeah,
didn't like it, but it's not something
yeah.
you hear. You know, I just thought it was very authentic, and
I-
to talk about your experience of basically of pissing
yeah,
ass London girls. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I
man.
mean,
It's funny, man, because I feel like I hate. I mean, people always say get on to me for always claiming that I started things, but like I'm not trying to say I started it or I'm the pioneer, but like, I mean, you look at TikTok now and the whole meme about like, raw, where's my backy, and all these like West London Depop girls and all of that stuff, and how like it's kind of a thing now. And I think, yeah, I do feel like I was one of the first people to like kind of. I mean, everybody's met these girls. Everyone knows about them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everyone like knows some, but like I feel like, yeah, that song kind of like outlined it and was being like, this exists, like this is what this that like, yeah, kind of highlighted it for the first time. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, maybe that's just my take, but like, no, it's definitely an interesting song, and all of it still holds true whether I like it or not. I feel like it's definitely accurate, and the fact is that so many people come up to me like, oh my god, did you make that song about me? Did you make that song about me? So I feel it's clear that I'm clearly describing a lot of people. So yeah, I don't know.
So let's talk about Arcturus, man. How did that one come about, bro?
So weird. I have no clue. I just be in the shower sometimes and I just thinking of rhymes.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I feel that.
Snowdonia, Patagonia rhyme just came to me. Um, and then I was like, that was the hook done. And then once I came up with Snowdonia, Patagonia, I was like, it's a weird word to rhyme. So I thought of some other rhymes, drew the hook together, um, and then there we were. Um, and then so once I had the hook, I just made the rest of the song. So basically, me and Loza had been like trying to. I've known Loza for like 3 years now, probably, and like we've been saying we're gonna do a video, like loosely. And we're supposed to do a Judas video with Loza, weren't we? Way back.
Oh yeah.
We were. I just remembered that.
No, we've got to make another
Yeah,
tune and make a video for it.
yeah,
For sure,
for
man. I would
sure,
love to
bro.
do that.
That would be crazy.
Definitely.
But no, so me and Loz, like, we've been saying we'll do something at the time, and then like a couple weeks before I thought of that song, like I sent him a Dropbox of a bunch of songs. And we're like, he was like, because we had been saying, okay, we're actually gonna do this video, and I said to send him some songs to like select, and I don't even know, I don't know if he listened to them, but he was like, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it. I think he listened to them and he didn't actually rate any of them, and he was trying to dodge it.
Oh,
And then
sorry.
I sent it. I think so. I think so. I don't know. Maybe not. You have to ask him. But
Yeah.
either he was dodging it or he actually hadn't listened to them. Eventually, I made Arcturus the first draft and I sent it to him, and he instantly said, "This is it. Yeah, this is the one we're doing a video for." And the whole thing just came together super quick. We had the help of like some sick people. Shout out to Charlie London, passed down as well. He helped sort us out with a lot of the clothes for the video. So yeah, and the whole thing just came together super naturally. And yeah, that's where we are.
You've been consistently putting out music for a long time.
For a
Um,
long time.
you genuinely
Yeah,
work hard at it, and you can tell that because you put out a lot of songs.
Yeah. I've
Um,
been trying to chill out because I think I released too much. I've been trying to chill out. But yeah, thank you. It's been. I mean, I still wouldn't call that a breakthrough, but it is in some respect. It is in a large respect even. But I feel like that kind of moment of recognition was like a long time coming. Um, and yeah, I feel like consistency, keep working on your craft, and if you are where you're supposed to be, God's plan, God's timing, it will happen. And here we are. Here we are. Yeah, like you said, a lot of rap is about bitches and just get money. It's like I don't even swear in my music. Like that's something that people don't even clock. Like I literally, you will not find, apart from the N word, you won't find me saying an expletive in my song really. And even generally, I refrain from saying that. Because and generally, it's just I try and think carefully about kind of what I'm trying to portray in my music. Because like I mean, everybody raps about guns. This I mean, and even if you're not rapping about guns, it's like what am I trying to say? What am I trying to do? And what's the point? Like, if art's supposed to be self-expression, what's the point of expressing something that isn't yourself? I mean, that sounds cliche as hell, but like, yeah, I feel like I do this because I just talk about the things I do, the things I see, the experiences I have, the thoughts I have. That's what it should be about. So like, yeah, it is just easy to make songs like that because that's just me. That's just the life I live. So so yeah, I do try and make it authentic. Like that's the goal, really.
yeah, and that's something that immediately stands out about your music, and what I really like about it is the authenticity. I've known you from literally from time ago. I don't know how, um,
Yeah, just
but
similar circles.
you've always been unafraid to just do your thing
Yeah,
and
and
have the sound of it is
that to be fair, it's still mad to me. Like not even like I've made it or like I've done anything crazy yet, but like even to be at the point where I am in my music right now, considering where I started, because like I feel like again, not claiming that I started anything, but like yeah, the stuff I talk about, the stuff I think, like my voice, even like I feel like it was just me, but I feel like it's not something you heard, not even you heard or even hear too much. So like starting out, just being yourself, that attracts like you get a lot of hate. Like so, like in the earlier stages of my music, like it was tough, like just trying to be yourself because like when it's something that's a bit unorthodox, like people gives people license to hate or people like to chat, tear people down. So like yeah, it was difficult, but I definitely think that's something I'm glad that I stuck to, and it's definitely paid off in the long run, to be honest. But yeah, it's interesting that you noticed that.
so when you say that people hated or were hating,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
things would they say, and why do you think they did?
Well, so I went to boarding school, and I think boarding school is a very toxic environment, and I don't even know if it's jealousy, but I don't really know if it's jealousy, but I started a clothing brand. I was like 14. Like it was whack. It was so dead. So I mean, if I would probably hate on myself now, like it was so dead. But like just the fact that somebody like took like I think whether the designs are hard or not, like I think the fact that a 14-year-old took the initial like that should be supported. Like, oh, you see one of your mates or you see someone like your age like going and doing something, like you should be supportive of them. But like people just like tear you down. And I saw the same thing happen when I got into music, like a year or two later after that. Um, I think people just don't like seeing people step out or do something outside of the status quo. Um, there's two elements. I think there is definitely an element in which um, people just don't like people going out and do so. I don't know if they think it's like them staging them up or they don't want to see people surpass them or something, or like that, like, oh, it makes them insecure because they see that somebody else has the initiative to go and do something. I don't know, but I definitely feel like I don't know if jealousy is the word, but definitely in my school environment or the circle that I was growing up in, I definitely feel like people don't like people stepping out, and I feel like people don't want to be associated with that until they actually see it like become until they see you becoming successful. And then not saying that I'm successful, that also I think some people just didn't like the music. And then yeah, again, it was different. Like no one's really heard of boy with a posh accent rapping about London girls on a track before. Like it was like stuff like that. I feel like it was just different, and some people it wasn't to their taste. I mean, even if it's, I mean, there's some stuff that's not to my taste. I just don't go around disliking people's YouTube videos or like throwing shade or trying to like, yeah. But some people did what they did. But I mean, we're here now. So I mean, and everything that the difficulties I had starting up in music, I feel like have made me the person I am today and have influenced my music today. And so yeah, I mean, shout out to the haters, I guess.
It's interesting because I think I've experienced a very similar thing, man. And when you start doing well, when you do, you know,
They
when
start
you, that's
I've
when
been noticing the people who would be reposting the stories now, especially like since Arcturix, man, since all this stuff that's happened with Arcturix and them sending me clothes and the Pitchfork articles. I see people reposting that and tagging their mates and stuff. And I'm like, you've known me for the last 5 years of your life, and you've either used to throw shade or before you've never said a word, you've never complimented, you've never recognized my thing
mad.
until they see like, wait, and then they want to be associated. Yeah, I can imagine that this is the experience you're like familiar
Yeah.
with.
The thing that I respect about you as an interviewer and someone who makes music myself is that you do a lot. I mean, that's mad that you started a clothing brand. You obviously did the editing. You
Thank
had
you.
some cold videos.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've kind of retired from the video edits from now, but like now we've got I've met better people for that. But no, I used to back in the day, definitely. I still do some of my own cover arts. I try to produce as well. So I try, you know, like if there's something I can do it, why not like try my hand at it? That's kind of my philosophy.
I just really respect also anyone that goes out and is not scared to just fucking create
I
something.
think that's ultimately like I know so many people who make music or do these things or do brands or like I'm just like this isn't to my taste. Like I don't like this, but I like the fact that like because like everyone has ideas, man. Everyone thinks to do something but to actually go and like set up that YouTube channel, go and source fabrics for some clothes, to go make a SoundCloud, download Logic or FL and start recording. It takes initiative and it's scary to actually put yourself out there like that. Like so anybody doing anything creative or anything at all, some sort of enterprise, like respect to them, like bottom line as well for that, because like you said, bitterness, I think bitterness, jealousy, insecurity, those are kind of the key words that come to, because like when people don't like that, the fact that like oh who gives him the right to go and start this and do that, and it makes people feel some type of way about themselves when they see that they're not doing certain things or that they haven't done anything. And I think that's ultimately, whether consciously or subconsciously, what it all boils down to, really, some sort of bitterness or insecurity. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
You were talking about boarding school briefly. So, what was it like going to boarding school, and in what ways was the environment toxic?
I think you throw like a bunch of prepubescent 13-year-old boys into like boarding houses and it's basically Lord of the Flies, to be honest. Like um, everyone trying to
Yeah.
um, everyone trying to establish themselves in the hierarchy. It's this person versus this, but like yeah, it was bad political, if that's a word I can use in that scenario. But after that, when it stopped being about, when it got, I feel towards the end when people grow up, it becomes less fucking dick swinging, and then like people just decide to do their own thing. And yeah, man, I feel like that's it. But I feel like in being in it, it's a weird bubble, and you forget about the real world. Um, so yeah, I think that bubble kind of environment of just like you being locked in with a bunch of boys, it definitely creates tensions and it's kind of toxic in that sense. But it is what it is. I mean, yeah, another experience that shaped me, and I would go through again if I could. Like, yeah, I'm grateful for it.
And whereabouts in London are you from?
Um, just outside of East London. Some people might call it Essex, but I refuse to claim Essex. I live in like Yeah, I've moved around. So like I've grown up around the whole East London, Essex. I've lived in North London for a bit as well. You're North London, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, Northwest.
I'll definitely claim London. I'm a Londoner at heart. But yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
And what was it like in the areas that you grew up in? And how did that sort of affect your character development or musical journey?
It's weird because I've grown up, yeah, in like nice neighborhoods, like predominantly white areas, like suburbs, like so. It's not like I really had any real influence. I feel in that sense, but I feel like I literally the project that our song Judas is on is literally called Coda Trap, which is a play on cul-de-sac because I'm like, so I guess it has shame, because it's a joke about me being a rapper from the suburbs, making trap, but suburban trap. It's funny. So I feel like it kind of comes back to the original point I was saying earlier about just being authentically me and like yeah, I rap about suburban life, like all the kind of thing. But it's weird because as in having gone to boarding school, like I literally didn't live at home for 5 years. Now I live at uni, so I don't have as strong a connection to my hometown as a lot of people do. Um, so because yeah, um, but so I don't rep anywhere or anything like that really. Um, but yeah, it's just funny. But again, like because of my school, a lot of my friends, majority of my friends live in London, southwest, west, northwest, southeast, even well across London. But that means I rarely spend that much time in my own area because I'm always in central or different parts of London seeing people.
You do a lot of genres, but you also retain your persona within
Mm, yeah,
within one of these genres.
yeah. I
So,
never thought about that.
so what's the sort of importance to you of being versatile?
I don't think versatility in itself is an objective for me. I don't think that's really its own telos. I think um I just what's important to me is again authenticity and just being able to make what I want when I want. And also it's just fun experimenting. I don't think I could never make the same song like X many times. So I feel like, and it's just like I have so many different moods, I have so many different experiences. I feel like if I want to sing today, let me sing. If I decide like I don't like rappy rap that much, but I've got a couple songs like that. But like if I decide today like I'm gonna rap, then like I want to show people that I can rap and do this for real, then I'll do that. If I just want to make a meme song, I'll make a meme song, and that's all it is to me. And I guess that makes because I do just go with the flow or however I'm feeling, that translates into versatility. But I feel like the versatility is kind of a symptom or a secondary effect rather than an objective in itself.
Where are you looking to take this in the future?
Run with it, man. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I guess I just continue doing what we're doing, and yeah, man, keep having fun with it, man. I don't know. I feel like I see like us and a lot of the people in the scene going up, but it's never been an objective. We've never tried. We've never really scripted any of our moves. We've never done this. Nobody said let's do this to do this. Like we just have fun and we just make music, and people seem to be gravitating towards it. And so
And that's the right
I think that's
mindset
what we're
to
gonna.
have, man.
Yeah, man. And I feel like that as long as we're enjoying it, as long as we're putting out art, I think that's the objective, and that's what we want to keep doing. Just
Yeah,
keep
bro.
meeting new people. See, I want to do some shows, bro. You need to teach me how to organize